Conversely, did you ever get bawled out much by people, and what happened if that did happen?
I can honestly say never.
Never. So, despite everything, you didn't occasionally get the odd prima donna who might just decide to, I don't know, so to speak, hurl a metaphorical ashtray at you?
No, never, and that's why I'm basically still here, because I can honestly say, and you've had it, we do clerk for a lot of different characters and a lot of different personalities, but I've never had a shouting match or a crossword with anyone in the council.
What about other clerks that you've known, though? I imagine there must have been a few war stories traded when you've had a chance to have a quiet beer with each other.
Yes, I can tell you most probably two. One of them was on the 12th floor. I think I can mention names, they both passed away. Russ Melville was the clerk, and there was a councillor up there called Ted Jones, who they call the Angry Penguin, and that was his nickname. He was only a very small man, always wore a three-piece suit, but always cranky. And something, I don't know what caused it, but the Angry Penguin started to yell at Russ, and Russ said, "Don't you talk to me like that." He goes, "I'll talk to you how I want to talk to you." And Russ said, "Well, if you want to talk to me like that, you and I outside." And they went out into the lift well, and they both stumbled to pretend to take off their coats, but nothing happened. They looked at each other and thought, "This is stupid." So they did go out to pretend to do something, but I don't think either one of them was going to do anything. But another occasion, Cyril Baldock on the 8th floor and Harry Peel also had a huge shouting match, and they also put up their hands, but that's about it. So they're the two. They're the only two really, I suppose, really confrontational sort of circumstances I've heard the clerks get into.
I'm almost disappointed in a way.
Where somebody didn't throw a straight left and a right cross.
Well, I mean, it's not really the best means of resolving a difference of opinion, I know, but I suppose because I suppose I'll come back to that point I'm very interested in. You're having to keep your cool so much in this kind of work, and over all these years, I just wondered if you ever got close at any time to losing it a little bit yourself.
No, the only thing is you do sometimes just get a bit, not stressed, but I think mentally tired at the end of a day, and you just, that's about it. But no, I do try and keep as calm as possible. You do get issues that happen. You've got to get issues that happen on a floor as big as we've got now. I think we've got about between 45 and 50. So there's always issues, but my job is to keep the issues completely calm. Little fires come up, you've got to just put them out straight away. That's a part of one of the most important jobs in running a really successful floor. Don't let issues evolve and become like festering sores. You just got to lance it just when it comes up. And if you can do that, well, you're doing a pretty good job.
Are you a good delegator?
I wasn't, but I am now.
How did you learn to be one?
When you realise that you just can't do everything that you got in front of you, and I have had the most fantastic people that have worked with me over the years, and Anne is 30 years this year, and Melinda's 20, and Mary's 12, so everybody's been here for such a long time, and I've now delegated a lot of the tasks that were just taking me out of the general clerking, and they actually asked me for more, for more work to do. So that's how it's happened. Yes, so now I delegate. I keep an eye on it, but I do delegate the floor fees, and a lot of the paperwork is done by members of the staff.
I suppose, it takes time to develop a good team. And you did say a moment ago that there were people here who've been doing it 20, 30 years. But obviously in those early days when you said you weren't delegating, that was partly because you thought, well, can I be sure of other people? Can they carry it out to the level of skill that I expect to see in myself, let alone anyone else? And so What helped you to make that jump? I mean, clearly you could see eventually that people would do work as well as you expected them to, but it is, I know this myself, it is not easy to delegate. And so what helped you through that transition phase?
When I realised that Anne, who is my receptionist, was so bright, she could have done anything, and so is Melinda and Mandy and Mary. They were just so bright, and I thought, well, these people could do anything. So this is going to be a piece of cake to them, and that's exactly what happened. Once I realised how good they were, I thought they can do it, and they've carried it out ever since superbly. I mean, the people that work here now, and even last night we had a function, they stayed back till very late and, just organised. Well, for example, I didn't have to do anything. We had catering and they set it up, and ice beer and wine and everything was done, but done in a really smick manner. And, they stayed and poured champagnes and passed around food and then cleaned up and, got home at 11 o'clock and back in here this morning, for no extra. But they wouldn't expect, but a lot of people do. But they are just fantastically loyal and really, really talented people that we're very lucky to have.
The key to it too is a very high degree of job satisfaction as well.
Exactly.
You've had that clearly, and clearly they've developed that too.
That's right.